Hi everybody, welcome to a Facebook Live with Jeannie. I'm Jeannie Nielsen, the card lady, and very excited to be here with you today. Sorry, it's a day late, and not only a day late, another half day after that. We had some tree work done. They were very loud. This morning, the guys were up here about 8 o'clock. I thought it was going to be okay, but there was a loud crash, and that unsettled the dogs for a good hour and a half, and all they did was bark. So we have about, I think we had 11 trees taken out, which was really nice, really opens up the place. Now I have to do some landscaping again. And when do I have time for that? Anyway, I'm very glad to be here with you. I have a sketch here with you that I'm going to share today. And using a fun new product. Now you guys may or may not have seen it. If you're a demonstrator, you know about this. If you are not a demonstrator, you don't know about this. This is something that is a new promotion that is going to be available to customers in September, but I'm giving you a sneak peek because I love this. Anyway, okay, so let me flip down and I'm going to show you the card we're going to share. I realize I haven't been here live in August at all, so I don't even have a host code to show you. I'll have to put that in the comments. Anyway, if you're in the area, Linfield area, I am doing a BOGO sale this weekend. My goodness, I have so many stamps. I realize how many stamps I have. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12 boxes crammed full of stamps. So if you're in the area, boy oh boy, and I priced them for BOGO, which means you get equal product for free, or really you're paying for the product, but you're getting that all for free. And then you also save tax this weekend. Okay, I'm gonna flip down and don't get dizzy, here we go. Okay, so here is the card and the sketch. And I have to say, I found this on Pinterest. I love the sketch. This is a fun pink card. They won't always be pink. I'm trying to see if you guys can see me. A little bit crooked. There we go. This is the Birthday Piggy. Now, Birthday Piggy is not a new stamp set. It came with the annual catalog and it's so much fun. What's new are the coordinating dies. There are a few stamp sets that Stampin' Up! Decided to add some coordinating dies to. So you've got your Birthday Piggy, you've got all the big outline stamps. So you're going to be able to cut out the pig on the scooter, pig with the birthday cake, the pig just hanging out in his happy place. Then you've got, I'm going to use a pennant, some confetti. You've got flowers and leaves, a bow, and you even have, oh, let's say a party hat, maybe that, I don't know if that's maybe something so that you could, you know, a blow thingy, you know, those blow horns. I have no idea. I think since this is a birthday party, that's probably what this is. And then of course you've got your wagon, which I love the wagon, and your banner. So that can cut out a whole bunch of things. But what I'm going to show you today is this fun sketch using this set of dies and the stamp set. Now this is pink, and I decided, of course, yes, it's lovely in pink, a little bright. This is actually the seasonal chic paper. It's the chic specialty paper, and of course, I was talking about this with my team the other day. All the names are so close that it really messes me up now. But this is the specialty chic paper in the annual catalog, and then I did a couple of things of embossing. And did I bring the embossing folder over? I may not actually emboss for this next card. I may leave it the way it is so it isn't too busy and bold. But, and then of course this little guy, I don't know, Herb. Herb is riding the scooter. No, it can't be Herb. It's got to be Bertha. Can't be Herb because it's a girl. This one is going to be Herb. So it's my daughter's fiance's birthday this weekend, so we're going to make him a birthday card. So that's what we're going to do right now. I decided we're going to use the same paper, but a different color scheme that is a little bit more masculine. I have already embossed the bottom layer. And the reason I chose this pattern, I have to tell you, is because to me, I was thinking, okay, where do pigs hang out? They usually hang out in a barn. This looks like gray weathered wood to me. So that's why I chose this. And we're going to mount that on my card base. You know, for the US, our bases are always 5.5 by 8.5. scored in half at 4 1/4, unless you do the long way, which means that they are 4 1/4 by 11 inches, scored at 5 1/2. So either way, it's either 4 1/4 or 5 1/2 for your score lines. And I always score mine right down the middle at the same time. I score once. Actually, I score once and I cut once is what I do. And then I've got 2 card bases. And usually one ends up in the drawer ready to just pull out when I'm ready. Okay, so we've got this. This right here is 4 by 5 1/4. So that's what we're going to stick with right here. I have here a piece of basic white cardstock. I've got my mat here. And we are going to stamp this birthday piggy on a scooter again, because I think it's just adorable. Okay, so I've got my black Memento ink. And the reason I have black Memento ink is because I'm going to color with my blends. And the alcohol-based markers, you're going to want to use this ink. And because this is such a large stamp, I always bring the ink to my stamp. And that usually means even coverage without making those halos on the edges that we all hate. You know how there's no magic eraser to get rid of those halos. You got to cover it up with embellishments or whatever, which is not a bad thing by any means. But if you can avoid it, it's even better. Okay, so I've got my piggy all inked up with the black Memento ink. And I'm going to do a nice job. Now, what I like to do is hold it on the paper so that the ink has time to sink in. I don't want to rock it too much. You did notice probably when I was inking this up, because this is a felt pad rather than our usual foam pads for the regular classic inks, I like to twist it and tap it and really kind of rub it in and make sure I get even coverage. But anyway, that's that for now. And then what I'm going to do, I usually have to say I like to color it after I've cut it out, because what is an awful shame is cutting it out and then coloring it, then cutting it out. It shifts a little bit and you've spent all that time doing it. That would be a bad thing. I have to tell you, the reason I have this white sheet of paper, and I decided not to use it, but what I was thinking about doing was, and what I could do also, I suppose, I was thinking about taking, stamping just this banner on my masking paper, and then I could put it over top of this part of the stamp, and I would be all set. I could cut it out and I'd be all set to put it over top of that stamp. And then I could use one of the other sentiments. I love this. Wee! Isn't that so cute? So adorable. So I was thinking I'd put that there, but it is a birthday card, so we're not going to do that now. The other thing I could do though is once again, just use a marker around the banner part and not ink up the words. And then I could still also stamp inside that. So there's a couple of options for that. Okay, so I have my, I'm going to put together the sketch in just a second, but let's start with this first. So I have here all my little pieces, my mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss, and I've got plenty of room for this. One thing that's going out of style in my stamp room right now is, or not going out of style, is double stick tape, because I'm re-sticking all of my dies back on these cardboard sheets. I was lucky enough to save all of them, including the envelopes, for years, and I've been able to, there's only a couple that I haven't been able to do that with. Put them back in their original folders and sleeves. So first we have plate 1, then I have a clear plate. I'm going to put that here. And I think I've told you before, I like to use this shelf liner because it's kind of a non-stick type of thing, or so non-slide. It helps me support this so that it doesn't slide all over the place. I've got my metal bowl, and I've got to tell you guys something else really exciting. I've had, for years, I've had 3 or 4 random dies that I couldn't place, and I have placed all of my missing dies in their coordinating folders. I don't have any that are missing anymore. No, that's not true. I have 2 stamp sets that are missing the dies, but I don't have any dies hanging out that I don't know where they belong anymore. And I've got a new system for keeping everything together now, which is really exciting. Okay, so we're going to put this here, And because I want to make sure that it's not going to move on me, I am going to use a Post-it note. And I always have Post-it notes near me, and I'm going to use just a little half, and I'm going to put this on here on one of the edges just so it doesn't slip and slide on me. Doesn't matter where I put it as long as it's covered. So we're going to do that. Slide it through. And when this is done, hopefully I've done a good job of cutting. I am going to do a tiny bit more die cutting possibly. I'm thinking about, just like I did on my pink card here with the pennant in the corner, I think I'm going to do that this time in Bermuda Bay. And in fact, why don't we do that right now before I get it too far out of the way? Even though I can tell you right now that I won't be able to find it when I need it, but I know how I work. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna put this over top. If I was embossing, I would again use plate 1, but and then I would put my embossing folder with a paper between, and then I would either cover it with plate 3 or plate 4. Now plate 4 is if this is a regular embossing folder. No, a thick embossing folder, and plate 3 is if it's a regular embossing folder. So you can tell this one is extra thick, so it has to give it extra oomph to slide through, or extra width, I should say, when you've got your regular embossing folders. And of course, you can only do your narrow embossing folders through the mini, but there are so many different narrow ones that are beautiful. There are some really nice wintry ones, the wintry snowflakes. I think there's evergreen branches. And I have to tell you, you are probably going to want to buy these soon, because as we get closer to the Christmas season, I can tell you they're going to start selling out. So I have gathered a bunch of my favorite blends here. And I'll tell you what I'm going to do first. So when I colored this guy here, it's Flirty Flamingo, and then I did a little bit of Petal Pink. I think what I'm going to do this time is also the same thing. I'm going to do the Flirty Flamingo, and I believe it's the light that I'm using. Yep, the light Flirty Flamingo. And this is my favorite marker for cheeks, for ears, you know, like bunny ears, for cheeks on my hippo. I just love this light Flirty Flamingo. So we're going to color this guy. And actually, I'm going to color, see how bright he is? He's such a bright fluorescent pink. And in my experience, pigs are not this bright and fluorescent, but there's not a great pink, unless, I'm not sure if maybe the dark petal pink might have worked. I have to show you something else on this other card that I just remembered that I did. So I'm going to color the snout, I'll color the feet, and this is what I wanted to show you guys. Let's get his little, I don't know, for a pig, do you call it paws? You'll have to tell me if you, I think it's paws, but I'm not positive. But you'll have to tell me what you think. And I'm so sorry, once I flip down, I don't see anybody's comments. I get back to them as I'm able. I'm headed to work, to the hospital, as soon as I get off this Facebook Live. So I won't be able to answer them for a few hours if you guys make comments. But let me know how much, I'm going to tell you how much I appreciate you. I just love that you guys are here with me. What I'm going to do is use my color lifter and take some of this off. Oh, I already like that. It's already changing the look of the pig. It's already much lighter, which is wonderful. And then again, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to use, I believe this is the light petal pink. Oh no, it's dark petal pink, so it wouldn't have been that much of a difference. See how it changes it? It makes him a little bit peachier. And I was thinking maybe if I just colored him in dark petal pink, but I don't think that that's quite the color either. So I never did tell you guys what I did with my other card that I thought was so cute. I know you can't really see it, but right here, I kind of colored his toenails. Hers, Bertha's toenails. I keep forgetting. Oh, and that reminds me, I forgot to do my tail on this guy. Cute curly tail, and this is Herb. Herb is riding the scooter, I don't know, for his birthday, to Raffy's birthday party. I'm not sure. That's debatable. We'll have to figure that out later. Okay, so this is smoky slate. I think I want black. No, this is gray granite. Oh, maybe I have to do dark smoky slate. I thought I had black, but I don't see it here. And I don't see it on the table. So this must have been the color I used. So we're going to use this. No, it's not the color I used. I definitely had a black that I used, and I don't see it in my collection right here, right now. Not sure where, maybe I put it back. But anyway, because this is gray granite, this is light gray granite. Smoky slate. Okay, so we're doing the wheels in dark smoky slate. There we go. And I've got to do the, I'm going to do the hubcaps in light. And then I'm thinking over the wheels too. These kind of look like wheel covers to me. You know what? Maybe I'm going to stick, I'm not going to do that with this one, because now that I look at it, I could keep it the same or do the Bermuda Bay instead over top of that. So maybe I'll just leave that alone. I will do it on my light though, my headlight. Okay, so we've got that. And then I'm going to use, I always put little labels on the end. This is light Bermuda Bay. So let's do some light Bermuda Bay. And these are probably handlebars, but I'm thinking it's motorized, so it's probably not handlebars. Yes, it is handlebars, but it doesn't have to be anything that's like stainless steel or whatever. Chrome, I guess it's chrome. I'm having a hard time with word finding today because I've been so distracted with my BOGO and also getting ready for work and trying to fit a nap in and, you know. Okay, here's my Daffodil Delight. My headlight is on. There we go. Okay, I didn't do a very good job with that, but you get the idea. Oh, and you know what? There's a couple of stars in the confetti exhaust here. So let's just kind of highlight the stars. There aren't that many, are there? Most of them, I'm just going to do all of them, and then I'll come back and do it a little bit with Bermuda Bay. I don't know if you noticed here, there is a little confetti die. It is tiny, real tiny and hard to glue down. So I'm not going to do that this time. But okay, so what I'm going to do is over the hubcaps here, over, you know, my tire covers, I'm going to do that with dark. So let's do that. I'll do that with dark. You can do whatever you want because it's our scooter, right? Okay, one more. I didn't notice this little thing besides, and that's probably chrome as well. Okay, so there we have that. I'm going to, again, do light Bermuda Bay for the banner. And you know what I'm going to do? I love this broad tip for coloring, but it's so easy to color outside of the line, so I'm trying to be really careful. And what I'm going to do, since that was light, I maybe should have done like a coastal cabana. What I'm going to do is over top of the words, lift that up a little bit with a color lifter. Be a little bit clearer, I think, in a second. So cute, cute. Okay, we've got some brown for the dirt. Cute, love that. I'm going to do a little bit of the confetti here also in the Bermuda Bay, like I said. Just a tiny touch. Even though I've done the yellow, I just want to have a little bit of that color there too. So there we go. Okay. Now, one more thing. To me, this exhaust is probably air, right? Sky. I mean, if we're looking beyond the scooter, I'm thinking this is probably sky. So we're going to color this in with Balmy Blue. And do you know what I called this color the other day? I called it Bashful Blue. Have you guys been around long enough to remember Bashful Blue? It's a while ago. It was a very pretty color. Very, very pretty color. The other color that went out just as I was becoming a demonstrator in 2008, or maybe it had already gone out, was Bliss Blue. And I really liked that color too. Okay, so this, I'm thinking air under the tires too, right? There we go. So there we go for a little pig all ready to go. I'm going to set this aside for a second and we're going to work on our sketch. And I'm going to tell you what I did here. So I've got my, hopefully I got all my pieces. I've got my card already folded and scored. It does better with a bone folder than it does with your fingers, just to let you know. Already scored at the 5.5. So it's, no, at 4 1/4. 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. If you don't want to measure, but you know that it's half a card, you can always bring this over and use the bone folder and just score it that way. That's another way. It's just half a card. Okay. I've already, like I said, used the Stripes and Splatters narrow folder. Now, because it's a narrow folder, I couldn't actually do it in my mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss because it's wider than, I think it's like 3.5 inches wide would fit in there. And this is 4 inches. So that's not going to work. So what I did with the narrow folder, okay, let me show you real quick so that you know what to do. And this works with something that is a little bit random, that you don't have to be exact with lining up the pattern. So say this is my embossing folder here. I'm going to put my cardstock in here and I'm running it through. And then when I'm done, I open it up and then I turn it over and there's a part that is not yet embossed and I run it through again. And that gave me what looks like a continuous pattern for a regular size embossing folder, but really the embossing folder was only 3 inches wide. So there we go. Okay, so now next, I have my piece of cardstock. I think it was Sue Campfield that shared this sketch about 2 months ago, and I saw it on Pinterest and I loved it. 3 inches by 4 1/4 inches. So it would be as wide as the card width is, but we're doing it for length. So 3 inches by 4 1/4 inches. And then what I'm going to do, I've got 3 strips of paper. 2 of them are cardstock and 1 is a piece of designer paper. And this again is that Season of Chic paper. And I don't think that's the name of it because I'm pretty sure that's the name of the stamp set. But let me just tell you, it's the Chic specialty paper. And there's so many beautiful patterns. I could do this pattern too, especially for a guy. It might be kind of good. And you know what's really funny is all the colors are in here. I totally could do that, couldn't I? Okay, but I do like this one, which pretty much has it too. So I've got my 3 pieces of paper, and I bet you're dying to know what size these pieces of cardstock are. So this is 3 inches by 4 1/4 inches. I have a strip of cardstock. This is gray granite, just like this mat is. Gray granite looks like the side of a weathered barn to me. This is 4 inches long. Remember, our width is 4 1/4, or our height is 4 1/4. This is 4 inches long. All of these strips are 4 inches long, but this one is 1 1/4 inches. And then what I'm going to do is put this, I have to show you, I am going to line this up on 3 sides. Top, bottom, and leftmost side, I'm going to do it evenly. So see how I did that? Don't let it slide. And that's the beauty of Tombow glue, but it's also a detriment sometimes. If it slides on you, you don't notice it, you come back and then it's stuck crooked. And yes, that happens to me all the time. Okay, so, and then I have this piece of designer paper. This designer paper is 3/4 of an inch, so it's 4 inches by 3/4 of an inch. I'm not going to stick that down yet because next I'm going to do this side. I'm going to stick down the right side, top, bottom, and right side. And this is 1/2 inch. So this is 4 inches by 1/2 inch. And I'm going to repeat those for you in a second. And if you're on my mailing list, when it says sign up now on my page, you get my recipe cards and quite frequently a tutorial as well. I didn't send one this week because I didn't do my Facebook Live last week, but I usually do. Okay, and then I have this piece, and that's going to be centered nicely in between the 2 strips here. So let's, I guess if I wanted it to be a little bit exact, maybe I would have done slightly. Can you do a generous 3/4 of an inch? I think I would have. You kind of need, but it is even. And we're not going to notice anyway because we've got our little piggy here. And he is going to get popped up with dimensionals. So let me pull out some dimensionals here. I'm going to put them on. The nice thing about this, there's lots of major areas for me to put the big dimensionals. If I need small dimensionals, I could probably do that too, but I don't think I'm going to need that. There's plenty of room for the large dimensionals here. If I really wanted to be sure I wanted to stick, I could put one there, but I know this isn't going anywhere, so I'm not going to worry about it too much. So let's put that there. Herb is ready to go to this birthday party. We're going to stick on our pennant banner in the corner here. Same thing. And I do think I didn't try it in the other corner. But to me, there's already this flag here and it's, you know, so I'm going to put it in this corner because I really do think that I don't want it. It's too busy already on this side. So this side works well. Then all I'm going to do, I could pop it up. I could put ribbon, but I don't think it needs ribbon. I was looking at that with my pink card. And where did I put my pink card? Right here. I don't think it needs ribbon. I think it's already too, there's a lot of stuff going on here. So I didn't do ribbon here. I'm going to stick this down. Make sure you use plenty of glue when you've got these embossing folders that have all this detail and dimension, because you need to get it in between the grooves as well as on top. You know, if you put glue and it falls in between the grooves, you might not have a layer that sticks. Anyway, so what do you think? I do think that I like the pink one better, but I think it's, yeah, isn't that funny? This one looks like a generous 3/4 of an inch, and that one looks like a skimpy 3/4 of an inch. They were both, maybe I didn't take the right piece, scrap of paper. So that's a little bit much, but either way, I have a birthday card all ready for Raffi tomorrow, which is wonderful. Actually, his birthday is Sunday, but so you guys can tell me which one you like better. Do you like Herb or do you like Bertha? All ready to go to the parties, either way. And like I said, I've got the confetti here. I'm not going to put it here because it is little pieces. Here is the die. Very tiny little pieces. Maybe if I cut it out of adhesive sheet, I could do it and put it on there a little bit easier, but it took quite a bit. I definitely needed my take your pick tool to kind of maneuver them in the right spot. But so anyway, that's that. Let me get all of my blends out of the way. I'm pretty sure I did just about all of them. I might not have used the gray granite now that I think about it, but let me flip back up. Oh, thank you, Judy. And thank you to all of you watching today. I so appreciate you watching. Have a wonderful weekend. I'm off to work. It's okay. I have to be there for my people. I hope you guys just have the best weekend and maybe find some time to stamp. And when Birthday Piggy comes out, I want you guys to get it. For sure, you're going to love it. And if you have time, on my page, on my Facebook page, I have an adhesive sale going on this weekend. I'm trying to earn the trip. I'm almost there. It's going to be my first time and I'm very excited. I love you guys. Have a wonderful weekend. Bye.